Engines roar. Steel jaws spin madly. No mercy. No escape. Colossal logs are devoured, shredded to dust in seconds. You're not just watching, you're witnessing a monster at work. Welcome to the world of Wood Channel. The Bioforgagens HIM 820, a high-capacity wood chipper, roars as it tackles a large pile of thick branches stacked nearby. Its internal blades spin at high speed, pulling in each branch and turning it into chips in an instant. The entire work area is engulfed in thick smoke and airborne wood dust. The scene becomes hazy, with only the blurred movements of the grapple arm and flashes of metal from the chipping chamber visible as the branches are shredded to pieces. In a leafy backyard scattered with dry branches and fallen twigs, a man in work gear and gloves works methodically beside a compact yet mighty universal wood chipper shredder. Though small in size, this mini chipper growls like a mechanical creature, hungry for wood. The man steadily gathers fallen limbs, dry branches, even logs thick as a wrist, and feeds them into the spinning mouth of the machine. Inside, sharp blades spring to action, shredding wood with a crisp, satisfying crunch. Every log disappears in seconds, and to the side, a steady stream of fine golden brown wood chips pours out, piling up in a neat cone beside the chipper. Each chip falls like sawdust rain, forming the perfect mulch pile for compost, garden beds, or wood stoves. It's like watching a small miracle of engineering. A chore that would take hours with a handsaw now done in minutes with just a few movements. Efficient, powerful, and incredibly easy to use, this mini wood chipper is the ultimate backyard assistant for anyone serious about landscaping or garden cleanup. The massive, modern wood chipper, painted in bold industrial yellow, towers over the log yard like a steel beast, an undeniable monster of the woodworking industry. As its engine roars to life, the giant internal blades spin with terrifying speed, producing a high-pitched screech that echoes like the roar of a wild predator. Thick logs, some over a meter in diameter, are fed into its wide mouth by a grapple loader. The moment wood meets blade, it is torn apart with brutal efficiency, ripped into clean wood chips in seconds, with no hesitation. Nearby, a team of workers dressed in bright orange safety gear, wearing hard hats and dust goggles, stand vigilant. They maintain a safe distance, yet stay alert and ready to signal the loader operator or initiate an emergency stop if needed. Fine wood dust swirls in the air, carried by the wind, prompting some workers to shield their faces with heavy-duty respirators. The atmosphere is tense but disciplined. Everyone knows that a single mistake around this dangerous monster could result in a catastrophic accident. front of the machine, thick logs are neatly lined up, waiting their turn, as if aware of the transformation ahead. The hydraulic grapple arm moves slowly but precisely, feeding each piece into the chipper with deliberate care. There's no haste, only firm, methodical motion, like an intelligent steel limit work. As each log meets the jaws of the HEM 821 Cobra hybrid, it's pulled inside and instantly shredded into a stream of wood chips, flowing out the back. It's an industrial scene, almost mechanical choreography. In the middle of a lush forest, a greenwood chipper is diligently carrying out its task. With its vivid green paint, the machine stands out against the natural backdrop, a sturdy symbol of industrial efficiency deep within the woods. Its engine hums steadily as the internal blades spin at high speed, shredding each log fed into it into fine wood chips. With every intake, a spray of wood chips bursts from the chute, scattering into the air, blending the mechanical roar with the subtle sounds of forest wildlife. The greenwood chipper works steadily and tirelessly, a vital part of the logging operation at the forest site. The Petzolato PTH 1400 to 1000 M drum chipper is running at full capacity, roaring like a tireless machine beast. Large logs are grabbed by the hydraulic arm and fed directly into the intake chute. Inside, the grinding drum spins ferociously, with razor-sharp blades hammering into the wood, turning each log into thousands of tiny chips. Wood fragments are expelled in powerful bursts from the discharge chute, like a storm of sawdust. The entire worksite becomes shrouded in a dense cloud of wood dust, hanging thick in the air like fog, coating machinery, clothing, and even dulling the sunlight as it filters through the smoky atmosphere. The machine thunders on, dust swirling, as more logs wait in line to be devoured. It's a raw display of mechanical strength, relentless, intense, and unstoppable. In a clearing scattered with fallen tree trunks, the Vermeer TG5000 sits cloaked in deep black, like a mechanical beast lurking beneath the harsh sunlight. At rest, it's silent and imposing. But once powered on, it roars to life like a creature awakened, ready to devour whatever enters its maw. A powerful grapple arm stretches forward like a massive mechanical limb, lifting giant logs, thick, weathered, and soaked with resin, and gently dropping them into the grinder's hungry mouth. The TG5000 begins to feed, its internal cutting teeth spinning with ferocity, shredding the massive wood like dry cardboard. The sound is thunderous, cracking timber, grinding steel, and the pulsing engine combine in a brutal symphony of destruction. Massive logs vanish into the black belly of the grinder, torn apart into a cascade of fine wood particles. These fragments don't go to waste. Carried swiftly by a long conveyor belt, the wood mulch is thrown into the air and falls like a golden brown waterfall, piling up into a growing mountain of ground material. It is a transformation of raw forest strength into valuable mulch, ready to enrich soil, protect plants, and fuel sustainable reuse.
Fermo lì.
Guarda che sta il cambio che farei, temperatura.
The PTH 1200 to 1000G Petzolato with chipper, powered by the mighty Clauserian 5000 tractor with 500 horsepower, forms a perfect duo for large-scale logging and chipping operations. As the CLAS engine roars to life, Its thunderous growl signals the start of a day filled with powerful activity. Immediately, the chipper springs into action. The drum spins at a breathtaking speed, and the sharp alloy steel blades tear through thick logs, crushing them into uniformly sized wood chips. The steady screeching noise, a mix of steel cutting wood and engine growling, creates a dynamic and intense industrial symphony. The conveyor belt automatically pulls large logs inside the machine, moving smoothly like a metallic dragon devouring the wood. The surrounding air seems to vibrate with the machine's power as piles of chipped wood fall beneath the machine, ready for the next stage of processing. Upon completing its task, the wood chipper gently slows down. The drum's spinning ceases and the noise fades away. The Syrian 5000 tractor slowly backs away, its tracks gliding smoothly over the ground, carrying away both power and precision. The chipper stands as a silent warrior, having fulfilled its mission, ready for new challenges at the next worksite. The Petzolato PTH 1300 to 1500 wood chipper performs its task like a giant steel beast unleashed in a timber yard. Massive and commanding in appearance, the machine moves with absolute authority. Huge logs are lifted and fed one after another into its intake. where gripping rollers seize them with a growl, pulling them in like jaws clamping down on prey. Inside, razor-sharp blades spin like the monster's rotating fangs, shredding the wood into thousands of chips. The air rumbles with the machine's roar as the discharge chute forcefully ejects a steady stream of chips, forming growing hills of shredded wood behind it. The entire machine seems to feast on timber cleanly, ruthlessly, and with astonishing power. With its sharp, striking red appearance, is in full operation, looking every bit like a beast built to devour it. Its round, serrated iron gears spin rapidly, gripping each log and dragging it into the heart of the chipper. As soon as a log touches the machine's mouth, industrial blades tear it apart into countless fine chips. Some logs are so massive that they must first be split in half by a log splitter before being fed into this red monster. Each time a log disappears into the machine, a violent burst of wood chips erupts from the discharge chute, showering the ground like a wooden snowfall. The scene is both brutal and precise, a true display of the raw, uncompromising power of the Eschelbach B-Bear 60 in the world of advanced wood processing. Deep within a vast forest, where the roar of engines never ceases, a powerful assembly of modern machinery works in perfect harmony. The log loader, with its massive steel arm, gently lifts each large, branch-covered tree trunk, as if picking up matchsticks from a fallen forest. The wood chipper growls like a hungry beast. Its hydraulic feed rollers grip the log, pulling it in as the blades spin at high speed, tearing each fiber of wood to shreds. In the blink of an eye, massive logs are neatly processed, shooting out behind the machine in smooth streams of uniform wood chips. And so it continues, the loader feeding tree after tree, in a relentless, powerful, and efficient cycle. Beneath the swirling wood dust and blazing sunlight, man and machine work together as a unified force, bringing timber from the forest into industry, wasting not a single piece. In a wide-open wood yard, the Bandit 3090, one of the most powerful wood chippers on the market, begins its workday. With its solid frame and rugged track system, the machine stands firm on uneven terrain, ready to take on massive logs, long and weighing hundreds of kilos. The loader slowly approaches, gently lifting a heavy log. Hydraulic arms move smoothly, positioning the timber precisely at the chipper's and feed chute. As soon as contact is made, the Bandit 3090 roars to life, its massive blades spinning at high speed. A deafening grind fills the air as the log is swallowed whole and shredded into hundreds of small wood chips in seconds. Large volumes of timber are processed continuously, producing a steady stream of uniform chips discharged from the rear, ready for recycling, biomass energy, or pellet manufacturing. The Bandit 3090 isn't just a machine, it's a true beast of the wood processing world, where power and reliability reign supreme. The Komatsu BR-120T. One is operating with impressive power, captured from the perspective of the wood grapple operator. Small wood chips and broken branches are swiftly and precisely grabbed. The machine's sturdy steel grapple closes and opens smoothly, gently grasping each fragment of wood and feeding it into the crusher. Inside, the rotating crushing mechanism works like a giant millstone, pulverizing all the raw materials into tiny fragments, producing a deep, steady rumble, a harmonious blend of mechanical strength and fluid motion. On an open clearing by the edge of the forest, the Vermeer HG 6800TX wood grinder, painted in a bright industrial yellow, stands like a mechanical beast gleaming under the late afternoon sun. The steel exterior reflects light, casting a modern, powerful presence against the wild, wooded backdrop. A hydraulic grapple arm works steadily, graceful yet firm, lifting and placing bundles of felled logs into the wide feed opening of the machine. With each delivery of wood, a rumble fills the air, the cracking of fibers, the grinding of metal, and the roar of the engine combine into an industrial symphony set amidst nature. Inside, the HG6800TX's high-speed grinding system makes quick work of the heavy logs. Its sharp steel teeth spin rapidly, cutting, shredding, and pulverizing the wood into fine mulch. A powerful airflow blasts the resulting chips through a long discharge chute, launching them in a steady stream into the bed of a nearby truck. The wood chips land in rhythmic layers, building up inside the truck's container, ready for transport to recycling facilities where they'll be transformed into biomass fuel, compressed sawdust, or eco-friendly building materials. Each cycle of grinding is a transformation of raw nature into renewable resource, and the HG6800TX is the bridge, precise, relentless, and full of energy. Albach Diamond 2000, operated by Lohnunternehmen Wedel, performs its task with remarkable precision and efficiency, as if programmed to waste nothing. Its strong yet agile grapple arm carefully lifts small logs and gently feeds them into the machine's core, where razor-sharp blades spin at high speed. The moment the wood meets the blades, it is swiftly and cleanly processed into uniformly chips, ready for reuse. The machine completes its work like a skilled craftsman, making full use of every inch of the log, leaving behind no waste, not even a splinter. Every movement speaks of control and optimization, as though the machine understands the true value of the wood it's processing. At CBI 6800 CT Land Clear Job 1080, the massive wood chipper roars to life, beginning its powerful operation. As the grinding mechanism spins up, large logs are fed in continuously and are pulverized in seconds. Wood chips shoot out from the discharge chute with immense force, creating a powerful stream that arcs through the air and lands in towering piles beside the machine. The scene is both intense and impressive, with the entire area vibrating to the rhythm of relentless grinding. The Vermeer WC2300XL Hole tree chipper operates like a mechanical warrior on the edge of a wooded area near a suburban home. Massive tree trunks and tangled branches, seemingly left behind after a storm, have been gathered and are now lined up along the machine's in-feed conveyor. The long conveyor belt moves steadily, its rollers turning rhythmically as it pulls the dense, branch-laden trees forward. Each tree, with knotted limbs stretching in all directions, glides smoothly as if floating along a mechanical river. As the tangled mass nears the chipper's mouth, the air grows tense. The machine hums, then suddenly roars as the internal drum spins up. Sharp blades scream to life, tearing through thick wood and foliage alike. The The crunching, shredding, and ripping sounds echo across the area as branches are instantly reduced to fine wood chips. From the rear discharge chute, a thick stream of wood mulch bursts outward, piling up neatly into a corner clearing, ready for collection or reuse. Within minutes, what was once a chaotic pile of fallen trees and tangled brush is now an orderly, clean space. The WC2300XL has done its job, swift, controlled, and powerful, restoring safety and clarity to the residential edge of the forest. The Dopstad DH812 is working powerfully on site, carrying out its tree chipping mission with impressive efficiency. This is a specialized forestry machine, fitted with a front-mounted chipper unit, forming a mobile wood processing system. Large rotating gears at the front spin relentlessly, gripping and pulling in massive tree trunks with mechanical force. As the logs are drawn in, the internal chipping blades immediately tear them apart into countless fine wood chips. Enormous logs, seemingly unbreakable, are efficiently shredded within seconds by the synchronized power of the rotating gears and heavy-duty chipper blades. The scene is a vivid display of rugged mechanical power and modern forestry technology in action. At a large timber stockyard, the CBI Magnum Force 8400 DeBear is operating at full throttle. A heavy-duty log loader works non-stop, continuously feeding massive logs into the grinder. As each log enters the machine, the internal grinding system shreds it into fine wood chips with relentless force. The wood chips are then powerfully ejected from the discharge chute, forming a continuous stream that piles up into a long ridge, like a mountain range made entirely of wood chips. The roaring sound of the machine, the rhythmic motion of the equipment, and the striking sight of the flowing chip stream create a dramatic industrial scene set against a raw, natural backdrop. The wood chipper, with its compact and sturdy design, stands firmly amid the pristine white snow. The machine works powerfully, shredding each log and ejecting fine wood chips right beside it, forming a fluffy pile of debris lightly dusted over the snow. The blend of the machine's sleek, modern form and the cold natural surroundings creates an image both efficient and harmonious.